Welcome to another episode where we dive deep into the latest in recruitment strategies, AI innovations, and HR solutions. If you're looking to elevate your hiring game and stay ahead in the ever-evolving world of talent acquisition, you're in the right place. Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe so you never miss an episode filled with insights, expert interviews, and actionable tips to transform your recruitment approach. Stay tuned for exclusive content designed to make your hiring process smarter, faster, and more effective.
All right, so today we're going to be taking a deep dive
Yeah.
into the world of full stack software engineer resumes.
Okay.
These are the unicorns, the mystical creatures who can code anything and everything. We're talking front end, back end databases.
Yeah, the whole 9 yards.
The whole enchilada.
Right.
And to help us decode these resumes, we have our expert here.
Oh, glad to be here.
So, with technology changing faster than ever, I think a lot of people are wondering, like, how do you even spot the kind of person who can keep up with that? Someone who's not just good at coding, but like problem solving, can be creative, can think on their feet.
Absolutely. And that's where I think the resume is really that treasure map.
Right. It's like that first impression, that first
It is.
kind of look under the hood, so to speak.
Yeah. And what's so interesting about full stack engineering is that the role itself has really evolved,
Oh, yeah.
It's no longer enough to just know a little bit of everything. Companies are really looking for people who can take ownership of entire projects from, that initial spark of an idea all the way to launching it into the world and making sure it runs smoothly.
Yeah. It's like finding the ultimate multitasker, someone who can like juggle flaming torches
Right.
while riding a unicycle on a tightrope.
Exactly.
No pressure.
No pressure at all.
So, okay, let's unpack this a little bit.
Sure.
First things first, what does a full stack engineer actually do?
Yeah.
Because I think there's a lot of myths out there.
Yeah, I think so too.
It's got to be more than just knowing like every coding language under the sun, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. And I think a true full stack engineer is like that Swiss Army knife
Okay.
of software development, but also has like a brain
Yeah.
that can solve a lot of complex puzzles.
Right.
So they're involved in both front end and back end development, meaning they can build the part of the website that you see and the behind the scenes logic that makes it work.
Okay, so they're not just building the car. They're also like designing the engine
Exactly.
and making sure it runs smoothly.
And making sure it runs smoothly. That's right.
That's a lot of responsibility,
It is, yeah.
especially for SaaS companies, I imagine, where, they need people who can wear a lot of hats.
Right, absolutely. And that's why they are so valuable, because they can literally touch every stage of that software development process.
Yeah, it's almost like having a mini CTO for every single project.
Exactly.
That's why everyone's searching for them, I guess.
Uh,
But how do we know which skills really matter? Like, should we just be looking for someone who knows, like you said, every programming language under the sun?
no, I don't think that's it.
Okay.
I think it's not quantity, it's quality.
Gotcha.
And so I think, let's start with the front end.
Okay.
This is really the art of making websites beautiful and easy to use.
Okay.
It's like being an interior designer, but for the digital world.
So if I'm building an app, I want someone who can make it look sleek. Make it modern, but also make sure that like grandma can use it.
And that grandma can use it. Exactly.
That it's user-friendly.
User-friendly and enjoyable, right?
Right.
So you want somebody who understands the user and how to make that experience easy for them.
Okay.
And I think when you're scanning those resumes, you keep an eye out for those essential front-end technologies.
Okay.
HTML, CSS, and JavaScript.
Okay, so those are like the must-haves, the foundation.
The foundation, yes.
Okay, what else? Like, what would make someone really stand out?
I think knowing popular frameworks like React, Angular, or Vue.js,
Okay.
that's a huge plus.
Why is that?
These are kind of like power tools. They help developers create complex and interactive user interfaces much faster.
Oh, so it's not just that they know it. It means they can probably get things done
More efficiently. That's right.
more efficiently, which means I might get my product to market faster.
That's right.
Okay, that's good.
Exactly.
Now, what about the back end? That sounds a little bit more mysterious.
It does, right? And it's kind of like, think of the engine room of a ship.
Okay.
It's all the stuff that's happening behind the scenes,
Mhm.
data processing, server-side logic, and making sure everything runs smoothly behind the curtain.
So if the front end is like the beautiful facade of a building, the back end is like all the plumbing and electrical wiring.
Exactly. That makes it functional.
That makes it actually work.
Yes.
Okay. Gotcha.
So look for candidates who have experience with back-end technologies like Node.js, Python, Java, Ruby on Rails.
I've heard those names thrown around, I'll be honest. They still sound kind of like a foreign language to me.
They do.
Can you break that down a little bit more?
Yeah, I think you can kind of think of them like different schools of thought for building that logic that powers your application.
Okay.
And each one has its strengths and weaknesses.
Mm.
So it's helpful to have somebody who knows which tool is best.
It's like having a chef who knows when to use a gas stove versus an induction cooktop.
Exactly. That's a great analogy.
Yeah. All right, so we've got the front end, the back end. What about databases? Where do those fit in?
Databases are so important. They're like the filing cabinets for all the information your application needs.
Okay.
You can imagine trying to run a business without organized records. It would be chaos.
Spreadsheet nightmares, I can only imagine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure that the candidate has experience with databases like SQL or NoSQL.
Gotcha, okay.
Knowing how to store, manage, and retrieve that data, that's crucial.
Especially for a SaaS environment, I imagine, where you're dealing with tons of user data.
Yes, lots of user data.
Okay, this is starting to paint a clearer picture for me. So we've got our front-end wizards, our back-end gurus keeping everything running.
Right.
But there's one piece of the puzzle that's still a little bit fuzzy to me, and that's DevOps.
Okay.
What exactly is that, and why does it matter for a full-stack engineer?
So DevOps is like the bridge between writing the code and getting it into the hands of the users.
Oh.
It's all about automating and streamlining the process of building, testing, and deploying software.
So it's like having a super efficient project manager who can make sure everything's moving smoothly.
Exactly. And so this is where it gets really interesting. A full-stack engineer with DevOps skills, they can use tools like Docker and cloud services like AWS, GCP, or Azure
Okay.
to launch and manage applications on their own.
Oh, wow. So they're not just writing code, they're actually taking charge of that whole deployment process.
They are, and that ownership mentality is so valuable.
Yeah, it's like having a one-person pit crew who can like build the race car A&D, get it ready for the track.
Exactly. And you're not just hiring a coder, you're hiring somebody who understands that entire life cycle of an application.
Okay, I'm starting to see why DevOps knowledge is such a game changer.
Yes.
But let's be honest, no one wants software that's full of bugs and glitches.
Right.
How can we spot a full-stack engineer who's like really dedicated to building high-quality, bug-free applications?
So testing is crucial. And a good full-stack engineer knows that testing isn't just an afterthought. It's an integral part of the development process.
Right.
So they're using tools like Jest, Mocha, or Selenium to find and fix bugs before they can impact users.
Oh, I can relate to that. I once had an app crash on me right in the middle of ordering a pizza. It was a tragedy.
We've all been there.
Shakespearean proportions. So it's like having that quality control expert who's inspecting every widget before it leaves the factory.
Exactly.
So we've covered a lot of ground already, the front end, the back end, the power of DevOps, the importance of testing.
Yeah, we have.
It seems like finding a full-stack engineer with all these skills is like finding that unicorn riding a Pegasus while juggling flaming torches.
That's right.
But don't worry, we're not done yet.
We're not.
In the next part of our deep dive, we're going to be uncovering those hidden gems on a resume that really separate the rock stars from the wannabes.
We'll also be discussing those red flags that you might want to watch out for, so stay tuned.
Awesome. Sounds good. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to our deep dive into the fascinating world of full-stack software engineer resumes.
It's great to be back. You know, we've already kind of laid the groundwork talking about all the core skills that make a great full-stack engineer.
Absolutely.
And those soft skills, too, you know, those essential ingredients.
Yeah.
But one thing that's been kind of swirling in my mind is we keep talking about finding that perfect balance of skills. How do we actually assess that balance on a resume? Like anyone can list a bunch of technologies, but how can you really tell if someone truly grasps both front-end and back-end development?
That's a great question. And, you know, it's like trying to judge a chef's skills just by looking at their pantry.
Right.
You need to see them in action.
Yeah.
So when I'm looking for that balance, I always hunt for projects that showcase expertise in both those areas.
Okay, so it's more than just checking boxes on a tech stack list.
It is.
We want to see concrete evidence that they can actually apply those skills in a real project.
Like imagine a candidate who built a web application from scratch.
Okay.
They handled the sleek user interface, the complex database, server-side logic, all of it.
Wow. So they did the whole thing.
That's a sign of a well-rounded full-stack engineer.
It's like seeing this beautifully crafted cake
Yeah.
and then knowing that the baker also grew the wheat
Right.
and milled the flour. Like,
That's impressive.
that's impressive.
Yeah. And I also pay close attention to how they describe their experience.
Okay.
Like, do they actually talk about how they contributed to both the front end and the back end of the project?
Right.
Do they understand how those two sides work together?
So they're not just siloed in their knowledge, they understand the interconnectedness
Yes,
of
exactly.
the whole system.
That's what you want to see.
So it's like detective work.
It is. It's very much like detective work.
Yeah. But, even with the most balanced skill set, I have a feeling full stack engineers probably still have like a secret favorite, like a side they lean towards a little bit more.
Absolutely. I think that while we're seeking balance, it's also important to remember that even the most talented engineers often have a stronger inclination toward one side or the other.
So they might be full stack,
Right.
but they still kind of have their preferred tool in the toolbox.
Exactly. And that's not a bad thing at all.
Okay.
In fact, I think a touch of specialization can be a major advantage.
So it's like having a chef who can whip up this incredible 5-course meal,
Yes.
but like secretly has a passion for like creating the most decadent desserts.
Exactly. So when you're reviewing that resume,
Mm-hmm.
don't just look for a perfectly even distribution of skills.
Right.
Look for somebody who has a solid foundation in both,
Okay.
but then also possesses a demonstrable passion and a deep expertise in one area.
So it's about finding that sweet spot
It is.
between versatility and specialization.
Yes.
They can handle the full stack,
Right.
but they also bring that extra level of expertise
Right.
to their preferred domain.
Exactly. And speaking of specialized skills,
Yes.
we can't forget about the importance of DevOps.
DevOps, our secret weapon.
It is a secret weapon.
Why is that so valuable, especially for full stack engineers working in like a fast-paced SaaS environment?
So in a SaaS company, engineers are often involved in deploying and scaling applications
Mm-hmm.
to accommodate a growing user base.
So they got to make sure that the app can handle like thousands or even millions of users
Exactly.
without crashing.
And that's where DevOps expertise is so valuable.
Gotcha.
Having that experience with deployment pipelines, cloud services like AWS or Azure,
Yeah.
it gives them the ability to not only build the application, but get it up and running in the cloud.
Okay.
Make sure that it can withstand all of those demands.
So they're not just building the rocket ship, they're also launching it into space.
Yes.
And making sure it can survive the journey.
I love that analogy. That's perfect.
DevOps is like that crucial element.
It is.
It gives them that control, that independence.
Yes, especially in a fast-paced world.
They're like a one-person pit crew who
Yeah.
can build, tune, and launch the race car.
Exactly. That's exactly right.
All on their own.
Those are the kinds of engineers that are in such high demand.
Yeah, I bet.
Before we move on to what makes a resume stand out, any questions about this balancing of skills?
I think it would be helpful to see some real-world examples.
Yeah.
I'm kind of eager to see how all of this translates into an actual resume.
Yeah, absolutely.
What works, what doesn't,
Yeah.
what really makes a candidate shine.
In the final part of our deep dive, we're going to do just that.
Oh, perfect.
We're going to dissect some real resumes, point out the gems, the red flags.
So we're putting on our detective hats.
We are.
We're going to crack the code of the perfect full stack resume.
Yes, that's right.
Stay tuned, everyone. This is where it gets really interesting. Welcome back, fellow unicorn hunters. We've journeyed through the front-end, back-end development.
We have scaled those treacherous mountains of DevOps
That's right.
and even learned to speak the language of databases.
Yeah,
But now
it's time.
it's time to put all that knowledge to the test. We're entering the arena of real-world resumes.
All right.
Got our magnifying glasses ready.
Yes.
We're going to dissect what makes a full-stack engineer's resume truly sparkle.
I'm excited for this.
Me too. So let's just jump right in. What kind of resume makes you, do a double take, shout, Eureka?
One that really caught my eye recently had this crystal clear summary statement right at the top,
Okay.
really highlighting their experience in both front-end and back-end development,
So they didn't waste any time burying the lead.
No, they didn't.
They put it front and center.
Yes.
Full-stack prowess.
That's right. Okay, what else?
And instead of just listing, a jumbled mess of technologies,
Right.
they really strategically grouped them.
Oh, that's smart.
So front-end technologies,
Mhm.
back-end technologies, DevOps tools.
It's like little categories.
Yeah.
Makes it so much easier.
So much easier to digest, right?
Okay, that's good.
But what really made this resume stand out was how they described your projects.
Okay, how so?
Each one was like a mini success story
Oh, I like that.
with quantifiable results, clear examples of ownership.
So instead of just saying, like, developed a web application,
Right?
they said something like, developed a web application that reduced customer support tickets by 20%.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They gave you concrete evidence of how their work made an impact.
That's huge.
And they also highlighted their specific role in each project, from gathering requirements to deploying to the cloud.
Oh, wow.
So you could really see their understanding of the entire development life cycle.
It's like they're saying, look, I don't just write code, I deliver results.
That's exactly it.
That's the full stack superhero everyone wants.
It was really a masterclass in show, don't tell.
Yeah, don't just tell me, show me.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've seen the shining example, the resume that makes you want to, like, hire the person on the spot. But not all resumes are created equal.
They're no.
What are some of the common mistakes, things that make you cringe?
Oh, one of the biggest mistakes is listing every single technology
Oh, okay.
that they've ever encountered, even if they only have, a surface level understanding.
It's like a chef claiming to be an expert in every cuisine imaginable.
Exactly. And it just lacks credibility,
Yikes,
right?
it's not believable.
So it goes back to that, quality over quantity,
Mm-hmm.
focus on what you're passionate about, what you can actually speak to.
Right, your true expertise.
Yeah. And another common mistake is just using vague language,
Okay.
like generic job descriptions.
Like responsible for developing features.
Yeah. Like, tell me more. Paint a picture. What did you actually do?
Give me the specifics.
Yes, exactly.
Quantify it. Show me the impact.
And finally, I think this goes for any resume, not just tech.
Yeah.
Proofread, proofread, proofread.
Oh, yeah, those typos, those grammar errors.
They're like little gremlins.
They can really sabotage you.
They can, you want to make sure that your resume is polished.
Right. First impressions matter.
They do.
So as we kind of wrap up our deep dive here,
Yeah.
what are some parting thoughts? What's like the ultimate takeaway?
Whether you're a seasoned full-stack engineer or just starting out, your resume is more than just a list of skills.
Mm-hmm.
It's your story.
It's your chance to shine.
It is. It's like a culinary masterpiece.
Ooh, I like that.
Each ingredient represents a skill, each dish a project.
And the overall presentation reflects your personality.
Exactly, your style.
Yeah.
So craft your resume with care, highlight your accomplishments, and let your personality come through.
Yeah, be yourself.
Be yourself, and the right company is going to be looking for that.
They're not just looking for a coding machine.
You want a person.
They want a person who's
Right.
passionate,
Who cares?
who's creative.
Who can work with a team.
And for those on the other side, the recruiters, the hiring managers,
Yeah.
remember to look beyond the buzzwords.
That's right.
The jargon, look for those resumes that tell a story.
Exactly.
Look for that problem solving,
Yeah, sure.
the creativity, that love for the craft.
And trust your instincts. Sometimes the best candidates aren't the ones with the longest list of skills.
Right.
It's the ones that have that spark.
That drive.
Yes.
So there you have it, folks.
We did it.
We journeyed through the ins and outs of full stack engineer resumes.
Yes.
Learned to spot the gems, avoid those pitfalls.
We did.
Now go forth.
And conquer.
Conquer the tech world, whether you're seeking that dream job or building your dream team.
Happy coding, everyone.
And remember, this world, it's always changing, so never stop learning, never stop growing, and never stop pushing the boundaries.
That's right.
We'll see you on our next deep dive.
Until then, happy coding.
Happy coding.
Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe to stay updated with the latest episodes and exclusive content designed to enhance your recruitment strategies.